start off my recap with a Shield reunion. That's right. The Shield didn't get back together per se as a group, but they were all in the same ring at the same time as the Ambrose Asylum returned. This segment kind of started off slow, but it picked up when Seth Rollins talked about how he was the man. Before he got injured back in November, before he hurt his knee, a very severe knee injury, I should add, he was the guy, and that Roman Reigns wouldn't have been champion if he had never gotten hurt. Roman Reigns stated his case is that, since he's the guy, he will beat the man. But the third person in that equation, Dean Ambrose, threw his hat in the ring and said that he might win the Money in the Bank briefcase Sunday night, and he might cash it in that night to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship for himself. So we have a lot of working parts here. We have a championship match that's already set. WWE piping it up as a WrestleMania main event worthy match that's happening at Money in the Bank. And then you got Dean Ambrose, who could possibly win the Money in the Bank and cash in on whoever wins that championship match. Another talking segment that stood out was the contract signing between AJ Styles and John Cena. And I think this was probably the best segment on the entire show. We had, once again, AJ Styles and John Cena having their dueling promos. They do a good job of going back and forth with each other and throwing little stings and jabs on the microphone. So I was already looking forward to this match to begin with because of the in-ring potential between these two. But they talked about the history between these two. Not really the history between these two, but just that for 15 years, these guys have been, John Cena's been number one in WWE, and AJ Styles has been number one everywhere else but WWE. I mean, John Cena even mentioned PWG, Ring of Honor, and New Japan. All these places outside of WWE, AJ Styles is number one in, and now these two guys are clashing for the first time ever in a WWE ring. So that alone is reason enough to watch this match, but they've done very good business over the last 3 weeks, and this segment, again, made me more excited to see what's going to happen at Money in the Bank. And we end my recap this week with the opening segment from Raw, where we finally had the New Day interact with Enzo and Big Cass in the ring, where it started off making fun of Kofi Kingston's Steph Curry sneakers, which everybody's been making fun of on social media for the last week or so. Out came the Vaudevillains, out came Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, and had a tag team match. But again, I think the opening segment was good. It got kind of weird there with the whole Enzo taking Francine. If you don't know, Francine is Xavier Woods' trombone. That's the name of his trombone, but he kind of refers to it like it's his girlfriend, so to speak. And Enzo talking about taking out on Bourbon Street and having a good time. So they opened the show with that. I thought that was a nice change of pace, and it was just a little wrinkle to what was overall, I think, a decent show for Raw. All right, that wraps it up for this week, folks. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at Vaughn Johnson. As always, you can follow my work at the Squared Circle blog on Philly.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next week after Money in the Bank.